Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the India Today Conclave in Mumbai. Cricket is in the air, the World Cup is here, and it is in India. And there is every hope that the men in blue on the 19th of November will lift the World Cup trophy. Will they actually do that? Who better to answer that than two World Cup champions themselves? Sunil Gavaskar, who won the World Cup in 1983 when the team of Kapil Dev defeated the mighty West Indies. And Harbhajan Singh, who was part of that glorious day here in Mumbai at the Wankhede Stadium in 2011, now a member of Parliament as well. Give him a very big hand. Direct question, simple answer. Is this Indian team good enough, and do you think they will win the World Cup? Mr. Gavaskar.
It is definitely good enough. Firstly, good evening, everybody. Thank you all for being here. And I do hope that when the India matches come along, you will say a silent prayer on the day of the match so that India gets a little bit of luck.
Hold it a little closer.
Believe me, prayers do help, and all your prayers will make a big difference. Yes, India can win the World Cup, no question about it. India has got a very good team. They've been in tremendous form. Look at the way they won the Asia Cup, beating Pakistan by, I think, almost over 200 runs, dismissing Sri Lanka for 50 in the finals. On a pitch, there was nothing in the pitch really, but it was just top-class bowling that helped India to register that big win. So the kind of form they are in, then when Australia came in, they beat them in the first two games. So clearly India is in very good form.
No, can they, but will they? They can, but will they?
That I told you a little bit earlier inside as well, that I haven't really had a look at Rohit Sharma's palm, so I really can't tell you. Because, I have not read his lines in the palm, so it's very difficult to say that they will win, because if I look at the palm, then I might be able to tell.
Baji, will they win? Is this team good enough to win the World Cup, and will they win the World Cup?
Well, as Sir mentioned, I don't read palms or I don't read faces. Yes, definitely they have the team to win the cup. They have great batters in the team, and everybody are in form, which is more importantly, a great factor. Coming into a World Cup, everybody, coming into form was a great sign. And of course, look at the bowlers also. Siraj taking those 6 wickets in just no matter of time. And Shami in the next game, whenever he played, he took 5 wickets. And Bumrah coming in form. So I think team looked really good. But all I can say, they definitely will go till the semi-final. And after that, it just comes down to some of luck as well. On those days, on those 2 days, semi-final and final, if you have luck on your side, you can go on to become a champion. But yes, I do believe we have the team to win and repeat same what happened in 83 and 2011.
You mentioned 83 and 2011, and you are, in a sense, faces from both those winning teams. In 83, let's be honest, no one expected you to win, or very few gave you a chance. What is it that you believe is that X factor that enables you to win the World Cup? You said, a bit of luck, of course, but is there something that you think the 83, 2011 team had that this team can learn from? Is there some magical quality in a World Cup that decides which team will win?
I think what both these teams had was, not only world-class batters and world-class bowlers, but they had also world-class all-rounders, both these teams. So they had in the batting lineup batters who could come and bowl a bit. They had down the order bowlers who could bat a bit. And that made a big difference, because at the end of the day, when you look at, say, the last maybe 5 or 6 overs, when your numbers 8, 9, 10, 11 are to bat, if they can, in those 5, 7 overs, if they can add about 30, 35 runs, what it does, it not only, cushions up your total, whatever your total is, but it also, particularly if you're batting first, it also makes that fielding side just that little bit disappointed, because they're hoping to dismiss those 9, 10, 11 in a jiffy. They don't do that. And so, you go in with a buoyant feeling, when in the change room, that look, we've got these extra 30 runs, which you didn't actually expect your numbers 8, 9, 10, 11 to get. And that can make a big difference in terms of the feeling.
In fact, now that you mention it and I think about it, 17 for 5 against Zimbabwe in 1983. And Kapil Dev still had Roger Binney, Madan Lal, Kirmani to come in. And that was the match that really turned India's fortunes. A match that none of us, unfortunately, could see. But that match at Tunbridge Wells was arguably the greatest innings played by an Indian in one-day cricket because he had 8, 9 and 10. And Bhaji, you scored 2 test hundreds, which people sometimes forget. But is that the critical factor that you need to have people right down the line who can bat a bit? And that's the one thing that the 2023 team will have to look at. People who can bat at 8, 9, 10, certainly 8 and 9 in a big match.
Well, it certainly makes a huge difference. When you're 8, 9, 10 can bat a bit, you feel more confident. And, England had that kind of edge, in the previous World Cup. And even, in this team, England present team, they bat down the order till 10. They bat till 10. And even Australia, they bat very down. And if you see Team India, they have also got a long batting lineup. If they play Shardul Thakur at 8, he's someone who can hit the ball, and then Kuldeep can also bat a bit. So batting down the order, obviously a big advantage and a big bonus if you can contribute with the bat. As a bowler, my job was to not just to take wicket, but when I get the chance to bat, just make sure just I bat sensible enough to see those overs through and get the partnership right.
Okay, World Cup at home. 2011, the last time the World Cup was at home, Mahendra Singh Dhoni and team, including you, won the tournament. Handling pressure of home expectations. Is it true that during that World Cup, Gary Kirsten did not allow you to read any newspapers or watch TV to what was the country thinking? Is that true? Or is that simply a story that we are told? That the players were told, you're not going to read what Indians are thinking about the World Cup.
See, those times were different. You can get away with without reading a newspaper those days. Nowadays, everything is there on your phone. And the kind of things you see on social media, you can't, I don't know how you're going to control that. Because those days, of course, it was a rule made by the team and of course introduced by Gary. Said, why don't you guys give up reading newspaper or TV for that matter?
So would you advise the players, don't look at your mobiles? For 6 weeks, just stay off your mobile or switch off all social media.
Well, I don't think that's what is going to happen. They're not going to do that. But of course, if they can do it, it will help them. Of course, on social media, if you don't perform well on one particular day, or you drop a single catch, or you let the 4 go, no matter how hard you have tried, but if the 4 went, you'll see next day what people will do. This social media is good, and also it can bring you down as well. So to the player, I can just advise stay as away as possible. Even yesterday, Virat Kohli mentioned on his social media, don't disturb me for the tickets for next 2 months. I want to focus on cricket. So I would advise, don't see your phone for next 2 months. It'll be easier for everyone.
That's good piece of advice, Mr. Gavaskar. You share that. Don't see your phone for the next 2 months. Someone knocks on your door, match, India-Pakistan match, hai, ticket de do, just do not disturb.
But that's not likely to happen because, you ask room service, for example, and the room service guy comes in and he's going to ask you, he's going to serve you. And then he says, sir, 2 ticket mil sakta hai kya? That's a given. So you can't avoid, the request for tickets. You can't avoid, if you're a batter, the room service guy, the laundry guy, whoever comes to pick your clothes up maybe for laundry, him either asking for tickets, or if you're a batter saying, sir, tomorrow century, tomorrow century. So that little bit of pressure will be there always. So you can't avoid it.
How do you handle home pressure? Because the last 3 World Cups, interestingly, have been won by the host nation. India 2011, Australia 2015, England 2019. So, 4th time lucky, but how do you handle home pressure then?
Well,
what's the advice?
Obviously, to try as much as possible to just, block yourself from everything, which is not easy. I know that Sachin Tendulkar used to put, headphones on. So when he got off the team bus, going into the change room, coming out from there, he had them on, so he couldn't hear anybody saying anything. And they would all be wishing him. Nobody would be saying anything wrong to him. But sometimes even just that wish, we want 100, we want, that can, add a little bit to the burden of expectation, the pressure of expectations. That can be just sometimes a little hard. So if you can block yourself off, nothing like it. And everybody, I think, today does that. In your own room, tough. But when you're coming out, I think everybody who comes in before they hand over their phone to the guy who collects the phones from everybody as soon as you get off the team bus, you put your headphones on and you can block anybody off.
By the way, I want to tell you, Mr. Gavaskar, on the morning of the 1983 World Cup, says he was less tense facing the West Indies fast bowlers, was more tense about the number of people who wanted a ticket to the match. Is that right?
Absolutely, and that is exactly what I think Kohli has said just now, that don't disturb him for tickets. Even now, I think when people are asking me for tickets, all I say to them is, you're 479th in the queue. Once I take care of 479, then I will look at your request as well.
Harbhajan, we mentioned Kohli a couple of times. All-time great. Could become the first Indian cricketer to win 2 World Cups. No one has done that. Ashwin and he have that rare opportunity. You played a lot with Virat Kohli. I'm told in the 2011 World Cup, a lot of you wanted to win the World Cup for Sachin Tendulkar, someone whom you admired and adored a lot. Do you think this team could think about, Virat Kohli ke liye ye karna hai? Because in many ways, Virat has changed Indian cricket.
उस टीम में और ये टीम में अंतर बहुत है.
क्या है?
वो टीम एकजुट बहुत थी. वो टीम में सचिन तेंदुलकर की जो रिस्पेक्ट थी वो बहुत बड़ी थी. और एवरीबडी वांटेड टू विन फॉर सचिन तेंदुलकर. इस टीम का मुझे पता नहीं है हु ऑल वांट टू विन फॉर विराट, बट यस दे वांट टू विन फॉर इंडिया फॉर श्योर. ये बहुत बड़ा एक मैंने आपको वो चीज बताई है अंतर.
नहीं, आप एक ऐसी चीज कह रहे हो जो अब ट्विटर पे वायरल होगी,
हो जाएगी, कोई बात
2011 की टीम एकजुट थी. यानी कहीं ना कहीं आप कह रहे हो वो रिस्पेक्ट नहीं है.
वो ड्रेसिंग रूम में जो सचिन तेंदुलकर की जो रिस्पेक्ट थी वो शायद ही किसी प्लेयर की उसके बाद हुई. हम महेंद्र सिंह धोनी ने बहुत रिस्पेक्ट कमाई है ड्रेसिंग रूम में, बट उसके बाद मुझे नहीं लगता है कि टीम उतनी एकजुट, मतलब यहाँ एक चलता है वहाँ 10 चलते हैं. बट येस दे ऑल वांट टू विन फॉर द कंट्री बट नॉट फॉर वन इंडिविजुअल, आई बिलीव. एंड ऑफ कोर्स विराट भी चाहेगा कि वो कंट्री के लिए जिताए. वो अपने लिए तो जीतेगा तो बोनस है. तो ये मेरा मानना है.
Okay, interesting. Maybe it shows the way the game is changing. Each player, in fact, R. Ashwin hinted at something like this in an interview he did, that we are not in that sense, that whole notion of a team working, in a lot of great individuals, but the notion of a team. 83 was all about teamwork. Kapil Dev was the star, but each one contributed in his way. Do you believe that will be critical also to handle pressure? That you've got to play this World Cup not for an individual. It's not about who scores. It's about how the team does.
It's for India. Simply. You play for that flag. It's simply for that. I played every game, for India, not for any individual. मेरा कप्तान सौरव गांगुली हो या राहुल द्रविड़ हो या महेंद्र सिंह धोनी, it didn't matter to me. All it mattered to me was that I am playing for India, and this is the greatest satisfaction I can get कि हाँ मैं भारत के लिए खेल रहा हूँ और मेरे लिए ये मौका दोबारा आएगा या नहीं, इससे बड़ी बात क्या हो सकती है. तो मैं भारत के लिए खेल रहा हूँ. ये सब मेरे लिए दुआएं मांग रहे हैं, प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं कि मैं सक्सेसफुल हूँ. आज की डेट में किसी के पास इतना समय नहीं है कि कोई किसी के लिए प्रार्थना करे, बट जब भारत का मैच होगा सब जुड़ जाते हैं प्रार्थना करने में भी और दिल लगा के ये शिक्कत में कि मैच जीत जाए, भारत मैच जीत जाए. वो कोहली मैच जीत जाए नहीं होता है, राहुल द्रविड़ मैच जीत जाए नहीं होता, भारत मैच जीत जाए.
That's very well put. It's a way in which perhaps you want to build a team. You think that's critical, Mr. Gavaskar? Or do you think that this team has so many individual superstars that we as fans will keep saying, Yaar, Shubman Gill, will he be the highest scorer in the tournament? Or will Kuldeep Yadav be the highest bowler? Is there that sense that we've got to stay away from and look at how the team does, not individuals?
I think that really is up to those who are covering the game, because they are the ones who are talking about Shubman Gill. Will he score 600 runs to go past Sachin Tendulkar? Or, we are right now looking at individual records, which really shouldn't be the case. We should be looking at, will this team, be able to get that kind of start, say, even a 70 or 80 start, say, in 12 overs, after which, say, the Kohlis and the Shreyas Iyer, whoever plays, or Surya Kumar Yadav, or KL Rahul, whoever plays will be able to propel the team to 300 plus in every game. That is what we should be thinking. But we are not. We are only thinking, whether, somebody will go past somebody. That is an Indian sort of speciality, peculiarity, whatever you might call it. But that is what it is.
India versus Pakistan. That's part of the problem is there's so much attention focused on this game that we forget it's only one game in the World Cup. India start as favorites for you, Harbhajan Singh?
Most definitely. I don't see Pakistan going forward in this tournament. The kind of team they have, they are good for T20. This is what I believe. And they are very good when it comes to T20 format. But what I've seen them recently in Asia Cup, and also the two practice matches they played against New Zealand and Australia, they look below average team to me. We were talking about their bowling lineup as if Waqar Younis and Wasim Akram, they have made a comeback with Shoaib Akhtar. This is a normal team, and I do feel that India, any day, whenever they play against Pakistan, especially World Cup, India have got great record, and I don't see it changing. India will start favourite and come out with the flying colours on that day.
For you too, Mr. Gavaskar, India starts as favourites in that game against Pakistan, or is there a danger that we will end up focusing so much on that game on Pakistan, we forget we've got to win a World Cup?
Oh, of course, I think we've got to win the World Cup. This match becomes an important thing because in terms of the expectations, you ask the common man, he will turn around and say, no, we must beat Pakistan. We don't know what happens in the World Cup, but we have to beat Pakistan. So winning against Pakistan will certainly boost India's morale up considerably.
But we are
no
favourites.
Question. Oh, definitely, yes. I think the kind of cricket we played, recent cricket that we played, we definitely are the favourites, no question.
But one thing has changed, Mr. Gavaskar, is that it appears now that all the foreign teams, a lot of them who come to India know Indian conditions. All of them play the IPL. Unlike in the past where Australians and English rarely came, they now are here every year. Is that one reason why these two teams in particular, I mentioned these two, Australia and England, remain our primary challengers? They've got all-rounders and they know how to play in India now. Is that a big difference, you think, from the cricket which you played with them and now in 2023, when they're as familiar with butter chicken as perhaps they are with the Indian bowlers?
Definitely, yes. I think it's a big plus as far as these teams are concerned. Most of their players have played in India for the IPL. They know Indian conditions, they know Indian pitches. More importantly, I think, having played for whichever franchise and gone somewhere else, playing in a away game to kind of get the hostility, face the hostility of the other franchises' fans is something that will mean that when they are playing in India against India, they will be used to it. So yes, it's not just the pitches, it's not just the conditions, it's just that feeling sometimes of hostility which is there, which earlier on was tough for them to overcome. Now they've got used to it, so that is going to be the big difference. 4
semi-finalists. Who are your 4 semi-finalists, Bhaji? Because this all boils down to semi-finals and then the 2 big games. Your 4 semi-finalists. We are saying this on October 4th. So I'll remind you on November 12th, 13th.
I can give you 3 at the moment. India, Australia and England. And 4th one could be New Zealand. That's what I feel. New Zealand or either South Africa.
Many people are saying this is a good New Zealand team. They've got 2 good spinners. They look pretty well equipped. They unfortunately lost the World Cup last time on a boundary count rule. Your 4 semi-finalists.
I think pretty much the same.
That's what? India,
England, Australia and New Zealand. New Zealand, keep on surprising people because nobody really expects them to win because they don't seem to have the superstars, but they are a magnificent team. They are a magnificent team of top class players who like to play under the radar. And speaking of being under the radar, the one team that because nobody really, every World Cup everybody talks about them. This World Cup, nobody is talking about them. And they are in my book, the dark horses is South Africa. South Africa are the dark horses because they played exceptionally well against the Australians coming back from having lost the first 2 one-days, winning the next 3 one-days. The South Africa are the team to watch out for.
Interesting. So South Africa become your dark horses and both of you have roughly agreed that India, England, Australia and New Zealand possible 4 semi-finalists. The players that you are looking forward to in this World Cup, Baji, both first and Indian, who is that one Indian player? And I know that we are going back to individuals, but who is that one Indian player that you are looking most forward to shining in a World Cup? And is there a global star also out there who you are looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to see Surya Kumar Yadav plays and perform, because I believe that he is one of those guys who's an X factor.
I agree.
Who can win you a tournament, not just 1 or 2 games. You know, जिस दिन वो चलेगा, वो आपको मैच नहीं, वो टूर्नामेंट ही जिता देगा.
तो आप उनको खिलाओगे फर्स्ट मैच अगेंस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलिया, अगर आप सिलेक्टर होंगे, सूर्य कुमार को खिलाओगे नंबर 5?
मैं कप्तान के बाद दूसरा नाम उसका लिखता, सूर्य कुमार यादव का.
अरे वाह,
क्योंकि एक्स फैक्टर है, एक्स फैक्टर आपको खिलाना चाहिए, क्योंकि आपके पास यू हैव गॉट विराट कोहली, ग्रेट बैट्समैन, यू हैव गॉट रोहित शर्मा, ग्रेट बैट्समैन, केएल राहुल गेटिंग इनटू द फॉर्म. They bat like, you know, very similar, run a ball, and they know how to, you know, build their inning. When you have 3 guys like that, then of course then Hardik Pandya is there, who's as good as anyone when it comes to hitting ability, and also if you have to play normal cricket, he's as good as anyone. So you need to have an X factor, which is Surya Kumar Yadav, who will play 30 balls, 70 runs, 60 runs, can take the game away from the opposition. So I would play him if I was part of the management or part of the team. I would insist them to play Surya Kumar Yadav. But who knows whether they'll play him or not. But sir, अगर आप होते तो खिलाते. ये बड़े हैं, ये ज़्यादा बता पाएंगे.
He's stuck his neck out. I'm liking the fact that he's putting his neck out on a number of issues. He's put Surya Kumar Yadav out there, someone who should be picked. Who's that Indian X Factor player? The X Factor that we keep talking about, that you need to win a World Cup.
Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya at 6. With the bat, he can make the difference. He can play the finisher's role. If India have lost 3-4 wickets early, he's got the ability to, you know, dig in a little bit and play according to the situation. He can come in and bowl. I don't expect him to bowl 10 overs. I expect him to bowl maybe 6 or 7 overs, pick 2 or 3 wickets in that. And so he will be the game changer as far as India is concerned.
Harbhajan Singh, global star. Is there somebody out there, you know, who you think is today the player who can light up a World Cup? Is there a player that we should be watching out for, that you will be watching out for globally? Anyone from any country who, whenever you see him on TV, you say, wow.
That's Surya Kumar Yadav.
Really?
There's no one better than him.
What is it about him?
I don't know, but the
How
way...
are you as a bowler, would you be frightened bowling to him?
Well, at my prime I wouldn't, but yes, today I will.
You would be frightened?
Today I will be, because the way he bats, I believe, you know, we used to see A.B. de Villiers does what he does now, Surya Kumar Yadav, and he's been doing it for many years now for Mumbai Indians, and now he's showing it even for Team India. So I believe this is the time. We need a player like him to play the games, and even if he gets flopped for first 2-3 games, you know, the day he will score runs, he'll take the game away from the opposition. And one more guy
Yes.
I want to mention, Shubman Gill. He's going to be a big star in future, and it could start from this World Cup. Yes, obviously he's a star today also, but ये मौका है उसके लिए, वो कुछ कर जाने का, कि जब उसको शुभमन गिल को याद रखा जाएगा, जैसे सनी सर को रखा गया है. इन्होंने तो बड़े साल मुशक्कत करके बिना हेलमेट के वेस्ट इंडीज़ के बॉलर्स को खेला है, बट ये मौके बनते हैं, ये बड़े चांसेस हैं. शुभमन गिल के लिए अगर कुछ कर जाना है तो ये वही मौका है.
Mr. Gavaskar, any global star, anyone who stands out for you when you see occasionally TV, you do a lot of commentating, but see less of TV, you say, wow, that's a real player.
I'll take 2 names, and they're both from England, Joss Butler and Ben Stokes. These are the players, you know, I'd go a long way to watch. I haven't seen anybody after the West Indians, the Greenwiches, the Clive Lloyds, Viv Richards, anybody hit the ball harder than Joss Butler. He really can tonk the ball. And Ben Stokes, I mean, what a player he is, anything. The best part about Ben Stokes is whether he has contributed with the bat or the ball, you see his efforts on the field. I mean, that is where you actually know what a team person a player is. He's diving, throwing himself around everywhere, trying to stop every run and trying to lift the team up. He may not be the captain of this team, but make no mistake, if England are in a crisis, a lot of players are going to look at Ben Stokes to get some guidance as to what to do.
You know, there's one name that we haven't mentioned, and Bajji, since you are here and you are one of the greatest spinners this country has produced, both in one-day and five-day cricket, is someone who seems to be coming into his own in Kuldeep Yadav. You know, you watch him bowl and you think there is something exciting about this young kid from Kanpur. You get excited watching him. Do you think he can be the kind of sort of match winner? Will spinners, let me even take it, will spinners decide this World Cup? The team with the best spin attack on Indian conditions, even in 50 overs, will probably decide the World Cup.
Provided they bowl like spinners. You know, most of the spinners in young generation, they don't bowl like a spinner. They don't look to spin the ball. That is the biggest mistake, you know, I have seen over the years now. Spinners are not bowling like spinners. Kuldeep Yadav, it's so good to see him. Why? Because he's bowling like a spinner. He's bowling slower in the air, you know, asking the batters to come out of the crease. You know, let the batsman take those chances rather than giving those, you know, easy ball for him to score those runs. So look to spin the ball, and of course, spinners are going to be the key. You know, agar aap wickets nahi loge in middle overs, you will find yourself in a position where you are not winning the game. But अगर आपकी टीम के spinners अच्छा कर रहे हैं, 2-3 विकेट मिडिल ओवर में लेके दे रहे हैं, तो you'll always see कि आपकी टीम अच्छा खेल रही है, आपकी टीम जो है वो आगे की तरफ बढ़ रही है. So Kuldeep will be very important with Jadeja also. You know, he's not picking as many wickets as we would have liked to see him picked. You know, in the previous games in Asia Cup and also 2-3 games against Australia. But I hope he get that form. And with Kuldeep, you know, he'll be very important.
We've got good spinners, but we've also got these three world-class fast bowlers, which is something which is rare. Yeah. You know, Shami, no one bowls seam up better than him. Bumrah is magic in all forms of cricket. And Mohammad Siraj, I mean, he seems to be, you know, have energy of a kind that I haven't seen on a cricket field in a long time. Is that the big difference when I look back at the teams of the 80s and the teams today? India with three fast bowlers capable of taking on the best in the world.
Yes, I think you get the early wickets, you push the opposition back. So if in your first 10 overs of the power play, when only two fielders outside the 30-meter circle, if you get a couple of wickets, then the opposition is thinking of consolidating, not looking to go over the top and put pressure back on the bowling. So that is where India has an upper hand in recent times. Mohammad Siraj, you know, one of the biggest hearted bowlers you can come across. Mohammad Shami, another fantastic bowler, and Jasprit Bumrah. I mean, Jasprit Bumrah is just from another planet.
Best bowler in the world in one-day cricket, according to you? Fast bowler?
I think Jasprit would be right up there. I can't see anybody better than him. Yes, there will be others from other countries saying our man is better. But Jasprit, because nobody bowls a Yorker better than him. Nobody bowls a slower bouncer better than him. Nobody bowls the quick bouncer better than him. Nobody bowls the back of the hand better than him. And he can get the ball to swing both ways. So,
okay, we've just got a minute left on the show. I'm going to ask you a bit of a googly question. You have the 1983 team, you have the 2011 team, and you have the 2023 team. Which, according to you, is if they were all three playing each other, who would win? Who would win between Kapil Dev's team, Dhoni's team, Rohit Sharma's team? All three of you are there playing each other. Who, according to you, would win that match?
Kapil Paji's team. They'll always win. Because they are the one who started this. और ये हमारे हीरो थे, हैं और रहेंगे. Kapil Paji's team, Sunny Sir's team.
ये आपने member of parliament की तरह से बोल दिया.
देखिए, मैंने क्रिकेट शुरू करी थी जब मैं बहुत छोटा था, तो मैंने वो तस्वीरें देखी. वो हमारे लिए एक प्रेरणा स्रोत है कि चीज़ जब आप कुछ देखते हो उन्हीं की तरह बनना चाहते हो. और जब वो सपना पूरा हुआ 2011 में, तो लगा कुछ ज़िंदगी में किया है. तो वो सपना लेके चले थे, वो पूरा हुआ था. तो टीम इनकी ही जीतेगी क्योंकि शुरू इन्होंने किए थी. तो कहते हैं ना, शुरुआत जहाँ से होती है वो बड़े होते हैं और बड़े हमेशा बड़े रहते हैं.
Mr. Gavaskar, who would win? Dhoni's team, Kapil Dev's team, Rohit Sharma's team. We have a 50-over match. You're even getting the bigger bats we'll give you, which you always missed in your days. Who would win?
well, I mean, on the field, it's hard to...
No diplomatic answer.
No, I'm not giving a diplomatic answer. Listen to the answer first. No? On the field, difficult. But off the field, 1983, hands down will win.
1983?
Will win hands down off the field.
See, now you're getting into trouble. What did you do in 83 that Harbhajan couldn't do? Now, what did you do? When you say you're going to win hands down, you've got to tell us why do you think you would win hands down?
Because we had a team which had so much fun off the field that when they came to play the next day, they all had that feeling, listen, we've got to make up for the fun that we've had last night.
Baji, you didn't have fun? I was told that when we won the 2011 World Cup, you were dancing and partying all night. No one could find you.
No, but sir ने कहा जो बिल्कुल सही कहा है. On and off the field, 83 जीतेगी.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Either way, sport is a baton relay. It's carried forward by one generation to the next. Sunil Gavaskar's generation handed over the baton to Harbhajan Singh and his generation. And hopefully they will hand it over to the generation, the men in blue, who will represent us at the World Cup. To all of you, all I can say is we will remain fans forever. So thank you for the memories and thank you for being true icons of the game. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Harbhajan Singh and Sunil Gavaskar.
Thank you. Thank you.